I often asked myself why God had preferences, why all souls did not receive an equal measure of grace. I was filled with wonder when I saw extraordinary favors showered on great sinners like St. Paul, St. Augustine, St. Mary Magdalene, and many others, whom he forced, so to speak, to receive his grace. In reading the lives of the saints, I was surprised to see that there were certain privileged souls whom our Lord favored from the cradle to the grave, allowing no obstacle in their path which might keep them from mounting towards him. "But what are you?" said the Queen again. "Are you a great overgrown dwarf that has cut off its beard?" "No, your Majesty," said Edmund. "I never had a beard. I'm a boy." "A boy?" said she. "Do you mean you are a son of Adam?" Edmund stood still, saying nothing. He was too confused by this time to understand what the question meant. "I see you are an idiot, whatever else you may be," said the Queen. "Answer me once and for all, or I shall lose my patience. Are you human?" "Yes, your Majesty," said Edmund. "Is there a brook anywhere near Green Gables? I forgot to ask Mrs. Spencer that." "Well, now, yes, there's one right below the house." "Fancy! It's always been one of my dreams to live near a brook. I never expected I would, though. Dreams don't often come true, do they? Wouldn't it be nice if they did? But just now I feel pretty nearly perfectly happy. I can't feel exactly perfectly happy because, well, what color would you call this?" She twitched one of her long, glossy braids over her thin shoulder and held it up before Matthew's eyes. Matthew was not used to deciding on the tints of ladies' tresses, but in this case there couldn't be much doubt. "It's red, ain't it?" he said. The girl let the braid drop back with a sigh that seemed to come from her very toes and to exhale forth all the sorrows of the ages. "Yes, it's red," she said resignedly. "Now you see why I can't be perfectly happy." "I have taken to dreaming about Aaron Burr every night," Andrews said. "What for?" said Mrs. Andrews. "How do I know what for?" Andrews snarled. "What for, the woman says." Mrs. Andrews did not flare up. She simply looked at her husband as he lay on the chaise lounge in her bedroom in his heavy blue dressing gown, smoking a cigarette. She had meant to spend the journey remembering, going through it all again in her mind, gathering up that long, long thread into a ball, and keep it hidden in my hand, thought Philippa, forever. She lit a cigarette and settled down. But as the train clanked slowly over the bridge across the Thames, and the towers of Westminster sank away, I may hear Big Ben again. I shall never see it. When the brief stop at Waterloo was over, and the train settled to its speed through the suburbs, weariness overcame Philippa. If one were searching for early glimmerings of a broader belief in American independence, Washington's remarks about the Stamp Act, a clear and unequivocal denial of Parliament's authority to tax the colonies without their consent, might be offered up as evidence of his prescient premonitions. As early as 1765, the children were reading comic magazines and their mother had gone back to sleep. "Let's go through Georgia fast, so we won't have to look at it much," John Wesley said. "If I were a little boy," said the grandmother, "I wouldn't talk about my native state that way. Tennessee has the mountains, and Georgia has the hills." "Tennessee is just a hillbilly dumping ground," John Wesley said, "and Georgia is a lousy state, too." "You said it," June Starr said.